Hello everybody, my name is Zachary Woods. I'm an aspiring author, and today I would like to explain what figurative language is. Figurative language is a broad term for words that go beyond their literal meanings, and there are a lot of examples of these, but I'll explain only a few of them today. Now, the first one I'll talk about, because I have already did a video on these ones, is an onomatopoeia. In my original video, I had mispronounced them, but an onomatopoeia is a word that's supposed to directly mimic a sound. An example of onomatopoeias are animal sounds like a cat purring or a bird chirping and sounds like those. Every animal makes a sound, and the sounds that they make are considered onomatopoeias. Now, a hyperbole, which is another form of figurative language, is a phrase that is used to over-exaggerate a situation or event. These are usually used in general conversations between people and are never meant to be taken literally. An example would be if someone said that they had gotten a taco for $1,000. Now, unless they were starving, they probably didn't get a taco for that much money, because there's definitely no place that sells it for that much. Phrases like these would be an example of a hyperbole, because they are not meant to be taken literally. And what the person is actually saying is that the taco was too expensive. Another example of figurative language is personification, which personification has two meanings, but personification, the first meaning is when you give human qualities to a non-human object, like a toy or a car or the moon, and you describe them as having human characteristics even if they don't. This is usually not used in general conversation and is usually used in storytelling, and usually is common in books, from my understanding. The second example of personification is when you turn an abstract concept into a character in a story, whether this character is an animal or a human. These are only used in storytelling and can be used pretty much anywhere, from books to movies to pretty much anything story related. This can even be used in things like parables. An example of an abstract character, technically, would be Death from Puss in Boots, even though one can actually argue that death is not an abstract concept, but it is considered an abstract noun. So this is one example of an abstract concept being made into an animal character. The last one we will talk about today is metaphors and similes. Now, they both mean when someone compares two things that are unrelated to each other. Now, the difference between a metaphor and a simile is that a simile will say that something is like something, whereas a metaphor will directly call one thing another thing. So if I said angry people were like dogs, then that would be a simile. But if I said angry people are dogs, not only would somebody look at me like I'm strange and crazy, because I probably am, but it would be considered a metaphor. Now, there are tons and tons of figurative language, and we won't be able to explain all of them today, but I will be making other videos further explaining other types of figurative language. So stay tuned and subscribe for that. And one thing I would like to say before I go is that I am writing a book, and I will be publishing it around somewhere in November. I'm aiming for November 7th. So if you would like to read that book when it comes out, you can go on my channel and subscribe for more updates for that. I already have a video explaining my book, so I won't really explain it here. But that'll be all for this video. Hope you liked it. If you did, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos. And goodbye.